All right, so I wanted to talk about my personal journey because I think it's helpful for people to understand why I do what I do, and I mean for any of us, right? It's always important to know why we do what we do, but I know what it's like to feel hopeless and like you're trapped and asking yourself, how in the world did I get here? And then even more importantly, how am I going to get out of here? Why did this happen to me? I'm watching life pass me by and it doesn't seem like it's slowing other people down and they can all do what they want to do. So if you can relate to any of that, I know what that's like. That is ultimately why I do what I do. I was pulled out of a very dark place in my health to help others get out of their dark place in health. And so, it says over here I was raised conventionally. SAD stands for Standard American Diet. I ate all the stuff we loved to eat as a kid. All the boxes, all the bags, all the processed foods. If I was sick, went to the doctor, got medication. When I was born, we followed the vaccine schedule. So I just lived kind of the stereotypical American childhood in a sense. Kind of middle of the road, not too hot, not too cold of a family, but pretty lukewarm when it comes to most things. And so that's the route I went. And then, so I've got this chemical storm brewing that I didn't know was brewing. That's kind of started in the background. And then I started playing hockey, and I started getting this physical trauma as well. So I had a chemical and physical storm, and they were both on this collision course. And then everything came to a head when I was in chiropractic college. And so I didn't know what I wanted to be growing up. And then I got a hockey injury in sophomore year of high school, couldn't use my shoulder, and my coach said, "Hey, you need to find a chiropractor near you." And I remember thinking, what is that? And so here we are. So I went. I didn't go immediately, right? Because us guys never do. We always wait until as long as we possibly can. So then I started losing shoulder function, couldn't catch a pass or shoot a puck really, hard to throw a baseball or football. So it was just really hard. And I was like, okay, I got to do something. And it took this chiropractor, it took her less than 2 weeks to get me back to 100%. I mean, and I had like 60, 70% improvement after one or two adjustments. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I fell in love with chiropractic then and as a patient. And so I said, hey, can I spend some time with you? And I started shadowing her and seeing some of the results she was getting in her clinic. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And so it happened to be there was a school in Dallas. I grew up in Fort Worth, so it wasn't a big trip from home. And I said, okay, let's do it. We'll go to Dallas for chiropractic college. And then in chiropractic college, it's really when the bottom fell out. So, and I know it was because of a couple things, but the just school schedule, the testing schedule, just a mental and emotional stressor that is. And in 1 week we had 11 tests. I'll never forget, and try 5. So anyways, it's just like, how do you even study for 11 tests in a week? You don't. You just better have paid attention. But all of these things come, and then we started getting national boards, taking national boards. And you've got 5 parts of national boards you have to pass to get licensed. And so I just started this, and then there's extra pressure because you still have your workload. Sometimes you're in the clinic, and you've got labs and things like that. And then now also we have national boards. So I had to study to get licensed. So these are big time stress and pressure situations. So everything, mental, emotional stress, chemical stress, and physical stress all came to a head. And then I started getting episodes of nausea and vomiting every single day. It was at least 6 days a week. Most weeks it was 7 days a week. It was always between 3 and 5 in the morning. And I would wake up, I would throw the covers off, and it was a race down the hallway to get there as fast as I could. And so I had roommates at the time. I felt terrible. I'd wake up the whole house just for being sick. And then it would kind of ruin my whole day, right? But this lasted for 2 years. I threw up every day for 2 years. And so I would have done anything at that point to stop the madness. And like I said, you can see over here, extreme illness for 2 years. I was 60 pounds over my healthy weight. And then the daily nausea, vomiting, and then also this insomnia. I couldn't sleep, couldn't get back to sleep. Which that turned into unprovoked 10 of 10 anxiety. And I would even say anxiety was severe, depression was mild to moderate. And then just this sense of hopelessness, just like, man, I'm trapped. What's the point? Is this even worth all this? How am I going to get out of here? And so I started having really dark thoughts. And so if that's you, just know that how things are today are not how they are set to be forever. And so there is hope. Even when you don't see hope and you don't feel hope, there's always hope. And I'm proof of that. And instead of every day getting worse on me now and trying different medications and thinking, oh, a medication will just stop all this, and it didn't, then another one, and it didn't, and then I realized, oh man, I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to figure this out on my own because what I thought would automatically work is not working. And so then I heard a doctor peg my whole story. He described me to a T, and I went up after and I said, hey man, you just described my whole life story. How do I learn more? And that's when I was introduced to functional medicine. And so chiropractic is about removing the physical interference to the nervous system. And once you turn the power on and basically strengthen that signal from your brain to your cells, the body will heal itself. So at the chiropractic tables, when we adjust somebody, we remove physical interference. There's another side of interference that can cause a weakened nervous system, and it's the chemical interference, and also mental, emotional, and spiritual interference causes havoc as well. So you've got to remove the interference and the body heals itself. We'll talk about this in the philosophy videos to come. But just know that's how I started this. Was like, okay, what is the interference? And stone by stone, you turn it over. Oh, I got another piece of the puzzle. I got another piece of the puzzle. I got another piece of the puzzle. And the biggest thing was what was on the end of my fork. And actually, I wasn't even eating with the fork because I was living out of drive-thrus because I didn't have any time to cook. I was too lazy to cook. I didn't want to shop. I didn't want to clean. So, and then I had tests to study for. So I was like, well, let me swing by and get a bite on the way home. And then I know I've got 6 hours of studying in front of me, and that's just how it's going to be. So I didn't prioritize what mattered most. And then I had to pay my tab, right? I just built this big debt of health that I had to come clean with. And that's what this doctor did for me with functional medicine. Was he said, hey, there's chemical stuff going on. There's mental and emotional stuff going on. We've got to address all of this. And now instead of every day getting worse, every day is getting better. So things snowball downhill on us and pick up momentum downhill, but they also snowball uphill. And so you can, when you start doing right things, you start adding one on top of the other, and pretty soon you look back, you're like, man, I've come a long way. I've come a long way, and I'm not all the way where I want to be, but the days are getting better. And now there's hope. And now I can do some of the activities. And now I'm a better spouse. Now I'm a better parent. Now I'm a better entrepreneur. Whatever it is, employee, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, whatever your dreams are, you can achieve them. And so health is our most valuable asset, and I learned that the hard way, and now I protect my health. I don't enjoy any other area of life when I feel miserable. And so it doesn't matter how big of a portfolio or all the investments or all the memories and all the traveling and all the toys and stuff and all this life in the fast lane gets overwhelming. But when your health is gone, you can't even enjoy any of that, let alone your relationships, which is most important. And so this sozo transformation is this complete physical, mental, spiritual, healing of the soul, healing of the spirit, healing of the mind, healing of the heart. But it's complete and total healing. It's complete and total restoration. That's what we're after. I'm not after just getting rid of your symptoms. I'm after you achieving the hopes and dreams that you have in your own life. And we want to achieve maximum health. That's why I do this. That's why I do this. And this works. This works. It works really well. And it worked back when I had a pretty poor system. I was still getting great results with patients. And now with technology and things that we can do, in the research that we know, it just gets better and better and better. So I'm excited to partner with you on this. Again, I was pulled out of a very dark place, the darkest place in life, to help others get pulled out, to help pull others out, I should say, of their dark place. So don't lose hope, right? Don't lose hope. There's always hope. We're going to turn this thing around. I'm going to show you what you need to take care of yourself. But I can't wait to hear some of the stories. Keep your head down. I'm not saying it's easy, but I am saying it's worth it. We'll get there, okay? I'm here for you guys. I'm so happy you're partnered with me on this journey. Let's go.